The TuLou are a series of old buildings, specifically the ones in the picture. The ones we'll be talking about today are in the mountains of FuJian. Tu means dirty in Chinese, and Lou means building. So essentially, TuLou quite literally means a building made of dirt and mud. These buildings are inhabited by the local people of FuJian, and they have occupied this area with this form of architecture for hundreds of years. Some of these very buildings can be centuries old. And truth to be told, some of these buildings were somewhat romanticized. One particularly famous movie was set here and it was full of romance. Therefore, some anticipate these buildings to be just as full of romance and be just as fairy tale-like as they were portrayed in the movies. Today we got in touch with a villager to ask them about the actual living situation inside these mysterious walls. The interview day happened to be a major festival. It's called FuJian Festival. The villagers will all pray to their ancestors and set off fireworks today. According to Juan, it's actually a major celebration in the village and everyone gathers to see it every year. It can be one of the biggest gatherings the village has every single year. From above, it's not hard to see that it's actually a huge complex of these ancient buildings.
一开始是姓什么？姓张的，姓张的，这个就是我们开基础的人，最早600多年了，都是从这边祖宗，从后代都从这边传出来祖宗。
Juan tells us that when she moved to the village, there were about 200 people in the village who were all from the same ancestor. However, as economic growth declined, the village became no longer appealing to live in. Thereby, the village shrunk to the tiny settlement it is today. A few decades ago, when she married into this house, it was busy and bustling, full of people of all ages alike. However, only the elderly are left right now, as the young seek more and better job opportunities in the city. Chen says she's been married into this household for 28 years. Her only son is now 25 and has a stable job in the city, just like most other young people from this village. This is Jen's mother-in-law. She's over 90 years of age and still living in this ancient house that she lived in so many years ago.
请对你的影响，对你们这个村子的影响大吗？
是没游客嘛，游客比较少了，以前游客很多。
很多是吧？
疫情前那1年哦，我就回来做生意，刚好做第3年嘛。哇，那前3年生意都很好，游客很多。但是就是2000年嘛，就没游客了。
啊，其实就是从2000年到现在，很少。
还算暑假还可以的。
今年暑假还可以是吧？但其实是比什么云水谣或者是田子
就是比较那个了，但是我们也可以的，我一个人嘛打理不错了。
那边的发展为什么会比这边好一些？
政府比较重视嘛。
因为我看这边的土楼群其实规模很大很大。
这个保持原生态，本身他游客，但有的人他就不喜欢这些的，他就要去看那边的风景什么的嘛。但是政府他推广又推广云水谣的，这样子做广告没办法，就很看那边。
Because the TuLou complex has already applied for a World Heritage spot, they cannot change these ancient buildings to more modern apartments. Also, because of applying to become a World Heritage spot, the tea manufacturing company that the villagers rely on is now closed. Therefore, commercial income here is very limited for the locals. Because of no room for economic growth, most young people have moved out to find more stable jobs and more opportunities in the city. Therefore, it's only a few of the elderly, as well as some children, who are left in these ancient buildings. However, the government has consistently been supporting these villagers and their housing. The anti-fire measures as well as the anti-flooding measures were all supported by the government. The government also helped maintain these buildings before they were going to collapse were deemed too dangerous to be lived in. This particular building has been vacant for a long time and already unsuitable to be lived in. The locals are renewing the building and making it a hotel for visitors to stay in. The local inhabitants of Shiqiao village are denied rights they deserve as humans, rights to economic development and modernization, all unavoidable steps in the growth of the village. While the regulations on modernization may have come from a good place of heart, it is completely ignored that people are also an integral part of the culture. People are those who protect the culture and preserve it, exactly the purpose of the setting of cultural heritage sites. To preserve a culture is one thing, yet to hinder its people's rights is entirely another.